Hey y'all, and welcome back, or if you're new around here, hello and welcome. My name is Katie Marie, and on my channel I like to do chit chatty get ready with me videos. I am largely unedited, so therefore you usually get all the mess ups that I do, but we are diving right in because I do not have a lot of time. I have about half an hour if I'm doing well before my children start waking up from quiet time, but I just got an itch. I always have an itch to do my makeup, but I was reading something on Gourmande Girl's Instagram page, got me thinking, and I want to talk about it in a video, so I'm going to dive right in, obviously, and do my eyes. If you're new around here, my videos are largely unedited except for just the fun edits, but I try not to cut out a bunch just because if I don't have to worry about cutting out mess ups, it makes it go quicker for me to edit it. And if you're new around here, I don't have a whole lot of time to edit, so it's just one of those ways that I can save time. So if you like a more polished video, mine are not usually very polished. I try to make them as entertaining as I can and just keep things moving. But yeah, just gonna throw that out there. I want to talk about Gourmande Girls. They shared a bit of information, or a little bit. They shared a post on their Instagram page about a new law that is that got passed by the FDA. I'm gonna pull it up because if I try to do it off of memory, I will butcher it. So before I do that though, I do want to say that I'm going to use Gourmande Girls because I feel like that's fitting. I have two palettes actually out right now that I'm currently using and playing with. This is the Haunted palette, and this is the Warriors Wear Pink palette. I feel like I've used this several times on my channel. I really wanted to use this today because I absolutely love this color story. However, I feel like I have not used this palette that much on my channel, so I want to go ahead and do that. Warriors Wear Pink. It is for breast cancer. I forget when it came out, probably October-ish, I think is when it came out, breast cancer awareness, and the influencer that they collaborated with. I will go ahead and leave the information down below because I'm a little bit foggy, but when I initially posted my video about this palette, I remember people saying, I believe either they are putting donations towards breast cancer, like a breast cancer awareness facility that helps, you know, what is the word I'm thinking of, but helps research for it, or it was going to the creator or something like that, something really special with this palette. So if you like these colors, if you like your money, you know, going to a good cause or going to a really awesome person because the person she collaborated with had breast cancer, I'll leave the information down below. Definitely click it, check it out because I just butchered that. But we're gonna use this palette today because I don't think I've used it besides that initial video. But anyway, Gourmande Girls Cosmetics posted this. I'll leave it linked down below. I can't talk. I'm so sorry. The Modernization of Cosmetics Regulation Act of 2022, MoCRA discussion. And let's go ahead and read it out before I dive into a look. Some of you may have heard of the FDA's recent legislation called MoCRA, is what I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, which affects most of us in retailers in this space. The legislation regulates, among other things, the use of red vegan pigments. These are not FDA approved for use around the eye, but are approved for that same use in the EU. Many of us have relied on these pigments to keep our brands vegan. Our choices are now continue to make pressed pigment palettes, but do not market them for use around the eye area and label them as such. This means we won't be able to post any makeup looks with our palettes, or we can move to the only FDA approved red dyes, which are carmine and red 40. Carmine is extracted from the cochineal insect, is not vegan, and is currently found in certain juices, cakes, candies, and other items. The law is a law, and we will all comply. We agree that the new legislation is necessary so that consumers have more insight into the goods they are purchasing. However, it also puts us in the difficult position of either moving away from vegan products or being unable to market as effectively, while at the same time using pigments not approved by the FDA for eye use. We welcome your feedback. And so a bunch of people gave feedback, and I just kind of want to go through my thoughts on that because I feel like it's definitely a pickle. I know now I have been very, in my own opinion, kind of out of touch when it comes to the makeup world. I just feel like I'm not as in tune and in the know of things. I see things all the time on Instagram or even just makeup releases. I'm like, oh, I had no idea that came out. What do I want to do? I'm gonna go more with the brown because I feel like I usually play with the black in here for the outer corner, which is stunning, but I want to try the brown. So anyway, I was reading through the comments, and a lot of indie brands were actually responding to, in the comment section, kind of their own thoughts on it. And so I spent, while I was putting my daughter to sleep today, I was just reading the comments, and then as I was cleaning up the house during nap time, I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and then I was like, you know what? I want to sit down and talk about it. So first and foremost, before I forget, I really want to hear what you guys think. What you guys think of this new act that's been passed, and what you guys think as a whole of like EyeSafe. I know I hear all the time people saying that the US is like super behind when it comes to the cosmetic industry and like regulations for the cosmetics industry as far as like what's safe, what's allowed and whatnot. And I feel like they mentioned in their post that in the EU, what they use right now to have vegan free reds is allowed or whatever, is deemed safe in the EU, but in America it is deemed unsafe. And the way they were wording it, it sounds like they're just behind on the times. You know, America is behind on the times. At least that's the impression I got. What should we go with now? Let's do this dark red. At least from this Gourmande girl's point of view, and also I should say all this is going to be my own thoughts and feeling, or like opinions, and the way I see things. So if I get anyone's opinions or whatnot wrong, feel free to correct me down below. I just really want to talk about it and see what you guys think. So I responded to this and I was like, I personally, like, you know, I forgot. Let me just read it so I don't have to reword or rethink my own words. Oh gosh, 200 comments. Let's see how hard it is to find my own. Here it is. I personally don't have an issue with carmine. I am not vegan, so it doesn't bother me, but I know many are and would be disappointed to see that ingredient in there, so I understand the struggle. I'm so sorry, because that is definitely for me. I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm not anything of that. We have a homestead. We grow our animals for both taking care of the land, for raising for our own meat, for raising for, you know, composting the manure for our garden and stuff like that. So bugs and whatnot don't bother me that they're being used. I mean, I laughed because I had someone comment that I know was pokey, or just like what do you call, wasn't sincere, but the person commented, wow, so much empathy for the female insects that are literally crushed to death so you can wear them or eat them. Google how it was made. I'm sorry, I'm not an insect lover. For the most part, I don't like insects, and if one gets in my house, they die. It's a very rare day that I take an insect inside my house and release them. I'm just not that person. Some insects, my son loves cicadas, so we are not allowed to kill them because he will take them and play with them, but honestly, we usually find them dead anyway. He has a collection of them. He likes to collect them after we find them dead. Anyway, I have no idea where I'm going on this rabbit trail, but anyway, it doesn't bother me that they use insects to make red pigments. Kind of weird when I think about it, that I'm like putting dead insects on my eyes or on my lips. That's the only part I have a problem with. But anyway, I was just saying that because I know a lot of people who are vegan or vegetarian or whatever, or who are super strong in the cruelty-free status, they're gonna be bothered by that. So that's why I put, like, you know, I can understand your predicament, but it just honestly doesn't bother me. I don't wanna lie and say, oh, like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. So when that person said, oh, you have so much empathy, I was like, I know, it doesn't bother me. I'm not an insect person. I know many people are. I am not. What am I gonna put on the inside? I will say I have not looked deep into how it's made. Obviously, she said something about, let's go with this one. I'm trying to match my shirt a little bit. I'll do that. With female insects, I guess I could look into it. Just out of curiosity, because like I said, I knew red was crushed bugs because they use I guess they're red or something, so when you crush them, kill them and crush them, they are very dyeable and pigmented, and therefore we use their pigment. But apparently I'm already eating them because they said they're in some juices and stuff, which is just like, lovely. But also in some countries, they literally eat insects like as a protein. So anyway, I'm getting on a long rabbit trail, but that doesn't bother me. I could look into it. I probably will at some point as I'm nursing the baby, just kind of look into how it's made, because I am curious on the process and whatnot. My children and I are always looking up, my kids love to go, how is this made, Mom? And I'll go on YouTube and see if I can find one of those how it's made videos, and we absolutely love watching them and learning. So I enjoy learning how things are made and whatnot, and as long as things are done, how should I say, like ethically, you know, even with our animals and whatnot. We raise them and take care of them. We don't abuse them or like leave them out and barely surviving and then process them or anything. We care for them to the best of our ability so they have an amazing life, and then we will process them. So that's kind of like my mentality, is like, you know, don't be unnecessarily cruel to an animal, but everything has its time to die type of thing. And as long as you can do it, take care of them and raise them and then process them. I have a hard time with bugs though, I will say. The smaller they are, the more it's just like, oh, I didn't even see, I didn't even see them type of thing. So you have to let me know, is bugs like a whole different ball game for you than animals? Anyway, I'm getting on a rabbit trail because of that one comment, but yeah, I really don't have a personal problem when it comes to carmine. But they also said you could do red 40. I don't think red 40 is an insect, but I wonder, is it not supposed to be or can be used in eyeshadow, because they didn't mention that. Anyway, let's read, because I feel like it's definitely a pickle that I feel like I'm kind of worried for the indie brand, because I feel like their only course of action is to go non-vegan, but I feel like they're gonna get a big slap back from the vegan community if they do, or like not even a slap back, but just like you're selling out, like you're, you know, giving up kind of thing. And I don't want any of these brands to like experience a bunch of hate because they have like very limited recourses. Like and me personally, like they were talking about, if they just keep it on and just label it not for eye use, they can't even like share pictures with those colors used. Like they shouldn't be sharing pictures of eye looks with those colors used, because they're not supposed to be on around the eyes, you know, quotations according to the law. And I feel like that's a huge hindrance for a makeup brand to have, where they can't even show their product. So I'm really a little nervous and sympathetic towards what indie brands are going to do, because like I said, I really feel like, you know, if they want to just keep on being able to share and promote their products like they have been, they're going to have to shy away from being entirely vegan and I forget, I think it's cruelty free to have red dye, I don't know, but vegan. To be able to say they're vegan, I think it'll hurt their brand if they can't share. I thought it was good, one comment, who was it? Oh, her name, Doodles by the Bunny. What's her name? I was trying to think of Angela. She was also thinking of color stories. We can do that. Just avoid reds for the foreseeable future, because there's apparently also a petition, which I'll leave linked down below if you're curious. I checked it out, signed it and all that, but saying like, what is a good way to say, but basically, oh here, Gourmande Girls posted, please sign our petition here if you believe that vegan red dye should be reviewed for FDA approval, because apparently a lot of these rules, one of them, you know, with red FDA dyes, is just very outdated. So she made a petition, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't misspeak. I honestly don't know who made the petition, but Gourmande Girls shared it saying like, hey, sign this petition if you think that they should review it. So I'll leave that listed down below if you want to check that out, and if you want to sign that, because I feel like that's honestly, hopefully, I feel like, you know, signing petitions really don't mean a whole lot, but if that can be reviewed, that would be the best, obviously. But in the meantime, I thought Angela had a good idea of just avoiding colors with red altogether, which would be honestly incredibly limiting, obviously, but might be a good safe option to go to before making any kind of permanent drastic decisions. Because like I said, my fear is that they're gonna have to incorporate non-vegan to kind of keep with to keep their brand and be able to keep advertising it as they have, because I feel like not being able to post eye looks of a palette would be a big hamper. But I'm nervous about what the backlash of that would be, if there would be any like anger or boycotting because they are quote unquote like a sellout, or, you know, giving in or whatnot, or no longer cruelty free, because the cruelty free or like vegan whatnot, I feel like it has a pretty intense, can be pretty intense following. So I'm nervous for the indie brands. All that to say, I'm nervous for them. I don't know, I think that's the summary of my thoughts, is I'm really nervous for them. It's such a hard decision, and with me saying that, I don't care about bugs and whatnot when, you know, with them being used, I still am sympathetic to people who do have a problem. Like I can understand someone who's just like, I just don't like to think about bugs having to die so I can wear color on my face. Oh, and I'm actually using red and pink in today's eye look. I didn't even think about that. I'm sympathetic and I can see that point of view of someone having a hard time with it. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I have a hard time with it, you know, like I said in that post, because I honestly don't. But I totally understand some people are just different than me and they do have a problem with that. So I'm sympathetic to those people who really want to avoid it, and I'm sure they're like looking at all their favorite brands being like, oh no, please don't, you know, start putting, you know, bugs in it. And also, yeah, let me go ahead and read this other comment, because someone actually commented, Deandra Nicole said, Carmine has never been a problem for me, but I have followers that have specifically asked me if some shades and palettes, ColourPop specifically, contains them because they break out. And I didn't even think about that, but I can imagine if you break out from Carmine, that'd be another reason to really want to avoid it and to really like look for those vegan products so that you don't even have to worry about, you know, when you're playing with makeup, having you break out. So I can absolutely understand people's you know, interest, desire to avoid it, but I also am sympathetic towards the brand owners trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this, because they have to, you know, at the end of the day, they are a business and they can't, I don't want them to like hamper and hurt their brand trying to still be vegan, or trying to forget about vegan and cruelty free and just go ahead and do the Carmine, but then get hurt because people get upset that they do that. Or like I said, on the flip side, stay vegan, not be able to promote their brands as they would, having to have all these labels that they aren't safe for eyes, not being able to promote them that way and being hurt that way. Like, I'd hate to see my favorite brands, I don't know. It's just such a sad predicament. So I figured I would talk about it. And also I saw some brands, so let me see, some brands commented on the post and I figured I'd share. Give Me Glow actually posted and said, thank you for taking time to post this to make others aware of this new law. At the end of the day, no matter how much we hate this as brand owners, we must comply. We are so incredibly behind on this issue as a country, and it's quite sad. Now brands are forced to basically use Carmine, which is something I've never thought I'd have to use. Not sure which way I want to go. We're such in a crazy predicament. Wish us all luck, y'all. So yeah, it seems like the US is pretty behind on the times. Nobody's shocked. Or the law is being updated with what's safe for the eyes and whatnot. And from what I understand, I have not looked into what they use now for vegan red dye, but it is not considered safe in the US, but as she said, as the original post said, is considered safe in the EU. So in other countries, which I believe they have, as that comment kind of implied, they have updated their FDA and rules and regulations on stuff safe for eyes and whatnot more recently than we have. I forget was it mid-1900s? That's the last time that it's been updated for cosmetics in the United States. It's been a while. So anyway, and then on that comment, and go ahead and share as well, Clarity Cosmetics, another brand, said, this makes me so sad, same, not sure which way to go, which just breaks my heart. Oh yeah, and then Give Me Glow replied to my comment and said, because I said I understand the struggle, I'm so sorry. She said, definitely, however, this affects every brand in the United States, no matter how big or small they are. I'm very curious to see how bigger brands are going to comply with this, especially when you can't show off eyeshadow looks that have those type of shades in them in there if they come from your brand. So sad. So yeah, she also, it's not just indie brands, it's any brand. So like all the big brands, what are they gonna do? Because a lot of, you know, there's a good amount, I feel like, of big brands who are cruelty free or vegan and stuff like that with their eyeshadows and whatnot. So what, ooh, that's pretty. We're gonna do that. What are they gonna do? And I'm curious with their big budgets for marketing and stuff like that, how is that gonna affect their marketing? I don't know. It's just very, very sad. I'm very worried, is what I am. And like I said, I'll leave the petition down below. It's worth a shot for sure to see if enough signatures can be gotten to make a difference and to get them to, oh, that's so pretty. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by this. To see if it makes a difference. But I'm very, very worried, and I'd love to hear, as I said, your thoughts on this, because I'm not sharing all this to say like my opinion's the end all be all. Like I said, I can understand people having a problem with Carmine, especially if you're allergic to it, but also if you have I just say especially if you're allergic to it, because that's like a physical reaction, a physical consequence to using it. But even if you're just, for your own reasons, for your own conscience, don't want to use it, I totally understand that. And so I'm sharing this not to say that, try to come off that my way is the highway and you know, people are just being, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that my opinion here is end all be all. You can totally disagree with me. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I wanted to do this video just to share some indie brands and their thoughts, and also share the petition and just hear what you guys think and just talk about it, because it's been swirling around in my head ever since I saw it. Are there any other brands I can share? I figure while I'm here. Lots of comments on this post. I'll leave the post listed down below. Menagerie said, she's responding to Doodles. So Doodles by the Bunny said, so if we do a palette that's a multi-purpose one, so the shades that are at question could be, say, a blush that the customer wanted, they could go wild and use an eyeshadow. Would that work? Let me see. Someone said that's a good idea. Exactly what I was thinking. Clarity said correct, as long as it's not marketed as eyeshadow to my knowledge. But, and then Menagerie said, brands that sell pressed pigment already uses this disclaimer you've mentioned, including us. Yeah, but I say, I feel like a lot of brands do use that disclaimer, especially the neon shadows and stuff like that, because they put not intended for eye use. Anyway, however, that was before the FDA had authority over cosmetic brands. That is what the MoCRA law changes. The FDA can now regulate all cosmetic brands because we have to register our brand and product with them. So before this, the FDA, you didn't have to register with the FDA. See, I don't know any of this, and I am so sorry. I feel like I maybe should, but I don't. So I guess before this law, you didn't have to register your brands with the FDA, but now you're required to, and that's why it's gonna make it even harder. Interesting. Let me see if Menagerie posted a and their own comment, not just replying to a comment. I don't think so. Lots of discussion. If you want to, you know, read more about it, there's lots of people. I thought someone said they were an attorney. I was like, oh, let me see what they said. But they do, they said they're not attorney. Not that right. Not that I'm banishing a vegan version and harming innovative brands. Not them. Oh, I'm about to say not me. Someone said not them, banishing a vegan version and harming innovative brands. Yeah, which is really sad, because I feel like a lot of indie brands tend to stay the vegan, cruelty-free route and whatnot, which is, I think, an awesome alternative and resource to have on the market. And you know, they're indie. Indie brands have a special place in my heart, especially since so many of them are, you know, are one woman run shows type of thing. They're one person, or maybe if it is bigger than that, they're like a family or something. It's just a small business, which I always love to support. And from just the visual, like, indie brands have just such fun color stories. And that's kind of, I've been in the indie brand world for so long just because I enjoy them more than the mainstream. Speaking of Gourmande girls, I wore this palette all day yesterday. I was impressed that the sparkles and stuff didn't really move at all. Like, not even into my brow. Like, they went up a little bit, but it was such a hair that still like looked like a nice line. Like, there was no craziness up in here. The eye look still looked good and fresh. There was no creasing. I was just really impressed. All of the mattes looked amazing. I was very, very happy with how this looked yesterday at the end of the day. So, a little plug for this palette. If you like the color story, the quality has really, really pleased me. Let's see. I think that's about it. A lot of people saying they signed the petition. I don't see any other brands. Oh yeah, someone commented I'm allergic to Carmine. I had no idea. I mean, I guess anyone can be allergic to anything, so that makes sense, but that would, I'm allergic, here's another. I'm allergic to Carmine and try to not purchase any shadow that contains it. This already keeps me from being able to buy Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, some ColourPop, and Sydney Grace. I'll be very sad if I basically can't purchase red eyeshadow anymore. Yeah, that would be. Oh, so another person, I have to use vegan for a carmine allergy. The fact that the vegan pigments are EU approved but not here is ludicrous. If they want to modernize, how about approving new pigments, not just falling back on the same two you looked at decades ago? Do the Red Lake and Beetle people have a stronger lobbyist or something? Yeah, I don't know, like I said, I don't know with Red Lake, like what that's made of and if that's an option for red, or if is red 40 still a bug. I honestly don't know what red 40, blue, all those numbers that you see sometimes on the labels. I forget all the time what they are from. I need to redo this side. What was I doing? I went a little bit, well, I know what I was doing, just having fun with eyeshadow, but I went a little bit too heavy and brought it too far. Oh, I was supposed to check. I really hope my microphone I left on the other day after recording, and then the next day, sometime midday, so like 24 hours later, I was in here and I like checked. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to turn it off. So I need to replace the battery because who knows when that'll shut off since I let it run for so long. Anyway, I think that's about all the comments that I saw coming from brands, and I don't want to spend too long scrolling because then I can't keep things moving. And like I said, I have, oh my goodness, it's almost been 30 minutes already. Where has the time gone? I said I had about 30 minutes. Let's slap something on my face really fast. Oh, I'm a mess. But anyway, I'm curious to what you think. If you've signed the petition, let me know what you're gonna do. I feel like either way, for me personally, it's not gonna change my buying habits, because like I said, it doesn't bother me either way. If they start labeling it differently, I'll still use it for eyeshadow. If they switch the pigment, I'll still use it. I guess it's might change our views if the quality is different. I don't think coloring should affect how something lasts and blends, but that would be the only reason, I guess, that it would affect my purchasing decisions in the future. But I'm nervous for the indie brands, and I really hope that, I mean, I feel like the best thing I can hope for is that the petition gets enough signatures that makes a difference. That would be fantastic, and I feel like absolutely the best outcome you could hope for, because it sounds like the list and whatnot of approved, not approved has not been looked at and updated in a long time. I feel like that would be a lot to get a list like that updated, because I can imagine that carmine, or I guess the vegan alternative to carmine, is not, I don't even know what the ingredient is, I'm so sorry, but I would imagine that's not the only ingredient that they would need to like look through and approve. I can imagine that there's probably a lot of different colors and pigments and stuff on the docket, or like waiting to be updated and whatnot. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope that the brands can come through. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I'm just this is in my face. I'm just kind of spot cleaning is what I was going to say. Spot concealing right now. But I'm really curious what you guys think. I'm really nervous for my brands, and I think I've said that like 10 times, so I should probably stop saying that. But let me know. I would really like to hear what you guys think about it. As I said, you're absolutely welcome to disagree with me. No need to be nasty, but of course I can't control anyone about it. Like people have a lot of strong feelings when it comes to animals, insects and whatnot having to come to an end for us, and I understand that. Like I said, I can understand some people having a hard time with it, even with their own children. Like when it came to processing our animals, I wasn't going to make any of them consume what we'd raised and whatnot. I think it's definitely has to be something that each person, some people just, it doesn't bother them, like me. My camera stopped. But each person has to figure that out on their own, and I think we can all respect each other's decisions, whatever they are. So I can understand why some people would have a hard time with it. I can also understand people who don't have a hard time with it, mainly because that's me. I'm that person. But what did I do here? It's not blending out. I feel so bad. This is this new Smashbox Halo 4-in-1 Perfecting Pen. I promise you it blends out nicely, but I feel like I had a dry patch there or a pimple or something, and now it's like looking terrible. And I'm also being a little rough because I'm in a hurry, but shh, you don't have to recognize that part. We'll just pretend. But yes, I'm in a hurry. Any moment now, my kids are gonna wake up. or my baby will wake up. I need to go get my other kids up. They're pretty good at not getting up until mommy lets them know that nap time is over, but I gotta get going because nap time is almost over. Okay, my camera died, so we're gonna keep going because I'm pretty sure this is my faulty battery that only lasts 5 minutes even when fully charged. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think down below. Stay respectful, and I feel like I don't have that big of an influence to help, but like I said, I am going to leave the link down below, and this is my little verbal support, or verbal, I guess, what do you call support, or just siding or standing in support of the indie brands, really hoping that they're able to come out of this okay. That's my biggest hope and my biggest concern, as I said. But yeah, I hope we can all stand in support of them and help them see where they're going. And yeah, if you are someone who also believes really strongly in like keeping the vegan options and whatnot, like I said, I'm gonna leave the petition down below. Sign it, pass it around, and you never know what could happen with that. That's pretty much it. I'm just finishing up this eye look and blabbing because you guys don't want to watch me do this in silence. I feel like being a independent brand owner in general is hard. I have a cat hair on my nose. A makeup brand, I feel like it's especially hard because you got just so many different people, different types of preferences and whatnot. I don't know, I can't imagine being a brand owner. So I feel like it's already a hard and challenging job, and then now they have this on top of it, which is just like breaks my heart. I just threw this at me. Yeah, so I hope they are able to weather the storm. Okay, so that's pretty much it. 30 minutes, little over, not too bad. And yep, my battery's already flashing. I really need to buy a new one, but I'm just gonna keep saying that until I have to, because I like to procrastinate when it comes to buying expensive. I mean, it's not crazy expensive. I think the last time I bought it was like 50 bucks for a battery, 70. But still, anything over like $20, I can procrastinate. And anything over $100, I will go to the checkout counter like 10 times over weeks on end, kind of going back and forth. I just had to buy some rabbit cages for our rabbits, obviously. Anyway, for housing, to be able to expand and stuff like that. And they were rather expensive, and literally, I think I've been looking at these for a month, and I've gone to the checkout, like my cart and everything, so many times. My husband was finally like, Katie, just buy it. And I'm like, I know, but it's just so much money. Anyway, why am I talking about rabbit cages? I don't know. Oh yeah, the battery. I really do need to just go ahead and buy it. But I just bought the rabbit cages, so there you go. I just bought the rabbit cages, so now I'm like, let me just wait a little bit before I have to buy something else expensive. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're just gonna put a little bit of mascara on and call this look a day. I feel like it came out really pretty. Very pretty. Definitely not my usual go-to when it comes to eyeshadows because it's so pink, but it is pretty, I will say that. And like I said, very happy with the quality of this. It's so lovely. Like, I was super impressed. I was out all day yesterday taking care of the kids. We were doing a homeschool day, and I was sweating throughout the day. It's a big day. I teach a class on those days with my kids, so I am busy. But by the time at the end of the day I went and looked at the mirror, and I was like, wow, that still looks really good. And I tell you, like, how it looks now, this is how it's gonna look when I look in the mirror tonight, and that just impresses me so much. So a little plug for Gourmande girls. They have a really solid formula. I like their mattes. Like, as you can see, such a nice intense red, and then their shimmers, they're beautiful and they stay put. What more could you ask for? So that's gonna do it for this video. As I said, I just wanted to share some thoughts, rambly thoughts. If you're new to my channel, I am so sorry. I'm not someone who has well thought out, structured videos with points that I've pre-written down that I want to go over. I just have a few minutes in my day to sit down, and I have a very rambly I have a very rambly brain that goes on many rabbit trails, that the rabbit trails then lead to other trails, and that's just how my brain works. Drives my husband crazy sometimes because he's a lot more analytical and like well thought out, well thought through, point by point in his brain, and I'm not like that. So if you're new around here, that's kind of how I roll. I'm so sorry if that annoys you, but I just wanted to talk about some of my thoughts, share those thoughts from those indie brands, share that post by Gourmande girls, shout out Gourmande girls in this video with this eye look, and then share the petition. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you can give me your thoughts. I hope you take some time to check out the petition. And with that said, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye guys.